Yo, what's going on, guys? It's Moral, back with another speed build. And today we are in a brand new project, a city-inspired park. I wanted to do something kind of modern-ish, less of what my kind of main thing I guess it would be, which is the Prehistoric Park build, which is kind of a tropical reserve theme, not so much oriented towards like guest experiences and like guests getting to interact with animals. It's a reserve. It's a wildlife sanctuary. So this is kind of a new style for me to work with, and I got really excited. The map itself I actually built off camera. I just kind of like, I wonder what it would look like if I could just build some skyscrapers and stuff, and some roads. And I think the effect turned out alright. It's a little hard to like see any details because, you know, it's too far away. You can't really see the windows I put on it, but I think the effect works okay. It kind of just makes it look like it's something far off that you can't see details on. So honestly, it kind of works in that way. So it has been a minute since my last speed build video. I did upload a couple of videos recently, actually. Well, by recent I do mean like over winter break. That's not exactly recent, but even before then, like speed build videos, I've kind of been out of the loop for a little bit, and it's good to be back with something new, something fresh. And I think this build project is just gonna really help me stretch my like creative muscle. And yeah, I mean, jumping into it here, we're building the entrance today. I kind of wanted to go for a bit of a not quite a fancy theme, nothing like extraordinary. Yeah, it's not exactly like a fancy high-tech I cannot talk. High-tech oh, I can't even say it right. High-end kind of fancy park, I guess. Nothing Jurassic Worldy where it's like high-tech. You know, like very sci-fi themes. I kind of want to go with the idea of a modern-ish zoo, just with dinosaurs, which is why I think the city setting is really cool. Normally, you know, a lot of fiction has dinosaurs, in like some sort of real-world setting, like as a park or zoo. You know, it's like what Jurassic Park. You have an island. It's like in the middle of the ocean. You have Prehistoric Park, which is its own like shut-in mountainous, I guess, area. And you know, there's not guests going to Prehistoric Park. It's like 5 people work there. It's not a guest thing where guests go in and see it. So I mean, like, you don't see it often. It's just, I don't know. I guess the setting doesn't really work for the stories that are often told, which are more, you know, dinosaurs attacking people. So, yeah, I kind of want to do something different here. I'm not revolutionary here. People have done like stories like this before, but you know, it's less often seen, I guess. So, what I decided to do was start with an entrance that was kind of based off of a couple of different parks. I kind of went with a rustic feel, something, you know, I guess in like lore here, you know, maybe dinosaurs. I don't exactly know. I'm not thinking like specifics here, but you know, dinosaurs for some reason, you know, they're just kind of like, they're not a big deal. They're still dinosaurs. They're still cool, obviously. Dinosaurs are cool wherever you go. But you know, it's more casual, like a real zoo, you know? Like, yeah, elephants are super cool, but like you go to a zoo, you expect to see them. It's not this like one place in the world has them type of thing, I guess. I feel really rusty at this commentating thing right now, I'm not gonna lie. It has been a minute. I guess I should talk about where I've been. I did start college last fall, and I am now back for the summer, which means hopefully I can get out a couple of videos for everyone. Actually, the day I'm recording this, which I don't know how long it's gonna take to put out, but today actually is like the day I came back from college. So I've packed up all of my things for my dorm, and I am back at my house. Feels good to be back. Feels a little weird, actually, honestly, after not being here for so long. But you know, a good break, you know. Studies, exams, and stuff. Exam week really got me tired, so I'm planning to relax until I have to get dragged back to work. So yeah, what are we doing here? This is the ticket booth. I kind of over detail a lot. I had to get these windows looking good for no reason. No one's looking over here, but I wanted to build a kind of a sliding window, I guess. Even this is not, honestly, I'm looking at this now, I'm like, this is not how it would look at all. I need to fix this. But I took some inspiration. You'll see it later, more the direct inspiration, but I did take slight inspiration in the buildings surrounding by looking at the, what is it? The San Diego Zoo. Of course, I can't forget the San Diego Zoo. Not so much in the build palette, you know, this is like a lot of woods, a lot of concrete, and theirs is less so. I can't quite remember what it looks like. It's been a little bit since I built this. I kind of built this over the course of like weekends that I had a little bit of free time. So it's a little bit spaced out. I don't quite remember my inspirations exactly. I do remember looking at, actually I looked at Six Flags over Atlanta as a inspiration slightly for some areas. Nothing too major. I think bathrooms and guest facilities I did kind of copy from their like entrance. Ooh. But yeah, I kind of went with this. I want to go. I kind of want to go simple with it. You know, I'm not trying to build something extravagant here. This is sort of a chiller project for me, because between you know, Prehistoric Park, which is my main building project, I guess, what I'm kind of known for, if I'm known for anything, it is a lot of analyzing. Let me look at this picture from one frame of, you know, Nigel's hammock and then recreate it. This is something more lax, I guess, or I just am kind of going with the flow, what I feel like I want to build. And I'm not trying to over detail, even though I really can't help it sometimes. I just kind of go insane. But I'm building what I want to. I'm trying not to like overcomplicate it all. Like with like a lot of props, a lot of backstage detail. It's more just a park for me, a park where I can actually like enjoy some of the functionality of the game, because, you know, there's not even like paths around the park in my Prehistoric Park build, because it's all like these dirt roads, and like guests aren't walking down them. And you know, with this, I'm more able to just use the functionality of the game. You know, some of the new modules coming out, like the food, I don't remember what they're called. You know, the food modules that kind of like work for you to store things. I forget. I saw it on their like new dev diary, but I didn't really pay attention too much. Things like that. Things like the new Jeez, I just cannot. I cannot today. I don't know what's wrong with me. I'm just so rusty. Things like the staff gates and stuff that are coming out hopefully soon. Things like that are like gonna be interesting to use. Yeah, I feel like I'm just so rusty that I'm looking at this, trying to multitask talking and watching this build is sort of a challenge right now. So I don't know. I also don't have a name for this park yet, so if anyone has any ideas for that and they'd like to share, go ahead and be my guest. I might even use it if someone is like has an insanely good name to use. So right now we're building these restrooms, and like I said, this is kind of based off of Six Flags. I've actually been there, which is the reason I was like, oh, I remember this place having these little restrooms that are kind of off to the side. And I thought, you know, a pretty easy reference. They're not anything crazy, and they kind of fit the theme. And I also added a guest information booth kind of next to it, and I kind of hit a park entrance there. But the functionality of the park entrance is kind of unfortunate, because like it's just a huge piece, and I honestly really don't like the coming up from the ground bit. Hopefully in like a future update when the game is more solidified, we get some different like spawners, because I know when Plaza started they only had like the platform, and now they have like a bus, I think, and a boat. Yeah, they have a boat. But things like that would be really cool, because you know, I mean, look at that, there it is. It's a big staircase, and it's ugly, and it's kind of hard to hide, honestly. Like if I didn't have to hide it, I probably would have made the information little building a little smaller. So here I'm just looking through things, trying to find a flow, I guess. It's a lot different to build just out of inspiration than like Prehistoric Park and, you know, copying things. I had to get in the swing of it. I wouldn't say I'm a bad builder from memory, but I'm definitely not the best. I think a lot of times I just kind of like dial in on the wrong, or not dial in the wrong, I dial in on the wrong, I said it again, on the tiny details that like really don't matter, and then it kind of makes the whole build suffer. Because like here, before I even got like the building, I put that air like conditioning thing on top, and it's like, sure, but we should start with the big blocks first, I think. But I just get sidetracked, you know, and my brain just jumps everywhere. So what else is there to say? I do like the way these buildings did turn out. I do like the way these buildings turned out. They look, I think they're kind of cute, honestly. At first I didn't think the concrete and the wood would mix so well, but it has a weird like architectural style to it, and I can't really put my finger on what it is, but I think it works for our case here. Oh yeah, we also built a parking lot. I don't know, you'll probably see it in the cinematics, but it's across the road from this, and maybe you could already see it earlier. Yeah, over there you can see. Yeah, I don't know, I was just bored, and I said, let me build a city backdrop. Let me build some like big parking lot, and I'm just gonna start a new build. And I mean, I'm kind of glad I did, because I think it turned out pretty nice. So here we're building some like kiosks where well, obviously inside it's that ugly staircase. No offense to whoever made it, I'm not just throwing shade at who made it, I just think it's a clunky prop. But I just kind of built these to have like an information thing, you know, if you're lost, or if you're like confused on how to buy tickets, maybe you're, I don't know, you're like lost, you went in a circle, you went in the bathroom and got lost, I don't know, something. Just guest relations, pop down a couple of vending machines, and yeah, this is what I'm talking about. Like, we haven't even put a floor in, but I'm building vending machines and trash cans. It's just, I don't know. So here we were trying to work with the gift shop piece, but I couldn't really find a way to fit it in a way I liked with the shape I had in mind for this building. Kind of because the kiosks are kind of in a very square, specific shape. I had trouble with that. So I ended up using one of like the smaller kiosks and some decorative displays around, and I mean, it works the same. I do think at some point the game crashed and I hadn't saved, so I think what we're doing now might get set back a little bit. I don't remember how much I cut out or anything, because I edited the video when I was bored too, so I literally just had to click on it today and was like, oh, here's a video I can commentate. Which, I don't know, I should have just commentated it when I edited it, but here we are. I mean, but yeah, here we are putting on a bunch of clothing racks and shelves. And I'm not a fan of interiors. Building interiors sucks. I can't stand interiors. It's a different ball game, and I'm just not good at it. So it's kind of it's not a good interior. That's just what I have to say. It's just not good. Maybe I can go back and like edit it, but that's something I definitely need to like improve on as a builder. A good interior can definitely sell a build too. Like, if everything except the interior looks nice, it kind of draws your attention into what's not good. So it's definitely something I want to improve on. Definitely need to improve on. And hopefully I'll keep building and get better at it, but here is where the San Diego inspiration really comes into play. Obviously, they have the giant lion statue, and I don't remember its name. And I know it has like a nickname, so maybe we should get a nickname for the T-Rex if anyone has any ideas. But I just did the exact same thing. I'll be honest. They're just like balancing on one foot, so I decided let me make this T-Rex balance on one foot and lean over a little bit, and surround it with planters like they have. So I just did exactly what they have. It's almost just stealing, pretty much. I'm surprised that they have not tried to sue this park, because if I was the guy who made that lion statue and then someone builds this, I'm throwing hands. That is just blatantly stealing their like design idea. But I mean, it's a video game, so San Diego is not allowed to do that because I make the lore here. I get to decide how this like world that I'm building works. So in my world, San Diego stole it from us, is what I'm saying. Yeah. Alright, so I kind of didn't like the visuals of this, so it just looked too like bland without like that circle, and I think the circle really looked good. Does the San Diego have a circle like that? Because I don't remember if I just took inspiration or if I did that myself. Either way, I think regardless, it does look a lot better that way, because it just kind of draws your eye towards the center. What am I doing here? Oh yeah. Here I'm working on some ramps. I was trying to figure out exactly how I wanted to do it. Eventually I figured it out, but I wanted a smooth slope because I think the degree is like really low of what handicapped people are like able to go up, I think. Or I think there's a degree that like, I think there's a specific degree that the ramp has to be in order to be like compliant with like handicap. I don't even know what that like organization is called that like maintains that, but slopes are supposed to be like a certain degree. Honestly, ours might be a little too steep anyways, but I tried to like eyeball it, so I'm sure it's a little weird. And then here we're trying to build these sort of like these planters where the concrete goes up. I wanted to get it to off street level to kind of have an elevation change here. That's another thing I'm not quite good at, is elevation changes. My brain is just coded to just work on a flat space. I don't know. Elevation changes and builds really I struggle with it a lot. So, like, especially in like, I don't know how many of you play Minecraft, but I'm the kind of guy who just completely flattens an area to build. Building with elevation, it kind of like boggles my brain a little bit. And I need to get better at it. So in this park, I kind of want to use some elevation changes. I know in some other builds, I've already built a little bit, yeah, because I did this in my free time. And there's like 2 episodes worth after this episode that's already recorded. So I hopefully get those out soon, because those are pretty good. I like them more than this build for sure. But I did put some elevation changes into the terrain underlying our build, so that hopefully turns out interesting. Yeah, we put some plants in here. I used the I can't remember what it's called. I think it's the bamboo as kind of a shrub. I sink it to the ground a little bit. It looks like an interesting shrub mixed in with like the real shrubs they have. And it just works kind of in any like build, really. I feel like if you can find a way to mix in just about any vegetation. So I mixed it in there for the planters. And then here we're putting the ramp in. Yeah. So at first it was like completely straight, and then we kind of curved it towards the sidewalk at the end. Yeah, like right here. It's a little tedious, and it didn't turn out exactly right, but you can't let the imperfections like cost you 12 hours of your life trying to fix them. As long as it looks just about right, I think you can get away with it. So yeah, we just kind of build this ramp. It's a little awkward, it's a little strange, but I mean, I'm not an architect, so I just kind of eyeball it. But honestly, for what it is, it looks fine to me. So yeah, we're just bringing in these like curbs around everything. And eventually I think we put the rails in right now. Yeah, I think so. Yeah, there he is. So yeah, obviously for a handicap ramp, you do want some railing, some protection in case someone who needs like to hold on to something can get up and keep them from falling into the bushes. That would be really bad. So yeah, I just kind of copied the fences we had built over there. Honestly, these fences, we kind of glossed over them earlier. I honestly have just been yapping. I have not really talked much about everything we're building. The fences though, I don't know if I like them or not. It's just, I didn't feel like any of the other fences kind of fit the vibe of this area. Here I kind of expanded the green area and pulled it forward a little bit. Still, another thing, I think it looks good. I still think it looks okay. And yeah, and then we start working on some extra planners. Yeah, for these planners, I really was just throwing them in, kind of just freehanding the like retaining walls around them. Like, everywhere that I built one, that's pretty much what I did. Except for here, actually. I did build some square ones here. And they look good too. These are the ones I put trees in. And I was trying not to block the view completely, but I think the trees brought some much needed height to the build. And it gave it a sense of like this park being a little bit older. You know, these trees had to have been planted a good while ago for them to be this big. So yeah, it gives you a sense of this has probably been around for a little bit. Kind of some world building, I guess you could call it. through like the visuals. But yeah, we moved back over to the gift shop. I guess I cut out the part where we crashed a lot, but yeah, the gift shop turned out all right for the most part. I probably will go back and change it at some point. It's just how I am. I'll build something and then I look at it and I'm like, that's pretty good, and then I go back and I'm like, oh my god, what was I thinking? This is not at all something that would look good in a park. And here I tried to get fancy and put some like different shaped windows in. It turned out alright. I need to start building more like ceilings though, because I feel like pretty much all of my builds I just use it goes straight up to the roof, and that really doesn't make sense for most buildings. Most buildings have their ceilings and then their roof, but I really don't do that. I need to start doing that. This has pretty much just been me complaining about my builds all day, huh? What a good video. I'm sure everyone's gonna enjoy this. Everyone needs to like, subscribe, and comment because, you know, they just are enjoying listening to me ramble about how I don't like the way I build, but so yeah, I did add gutters in. I guess I cut them out being built, but just to add a little bit of realism to everything, I did add those. I think they add a lot to the build, honestly. I think they add just subtle touches like this. Makes it look more like it's something real, without like a lot of work, like trying to like build custom things. Because these are the in-game pieces. It's not like I'm building these manually. So yeah, now we're working on the actual entrance, which I really am not sure what I'm thinking these buildings would be used for. Maybe some office space where some meetings are held or something, or maybe like an event space that can be rented out. I'm not sure. We're not trying to explicitly say exactly what's happening behind every door in this area, in this park, in this build. It's more like implied that there's something there is what I'm going for in a lot of this. I'm implying that something is here. I'm implying that, you know, there's something going on here with the windows and the doors and stuff. And I just pretty much am making it up as I go along. So, as I am with this commentary. But yeah, I definitely think something would go on here. We just kind of built these windows, and we use the opaque glass, but then yeah, right here we just completely remove them and go for actual glass. And then we just end up putting like tarps behind to kind of imply like curtains being hung or something. But yeah. Yeah, right here. I just put in these tarps kind of as curtains. And you can definitely kind of see through on like some of the gaps. It's like when you're in a bathroom and like there's that tiny slit like through the stalls in a public restroom. It's just so annoying. But yeah, if you look, you just completely see through the illusion that this is not a real park and it's just like a bunch of props. So here I was trying to do something fancy with this overhang. I wanted the bottom to look different from the top. And you saw earlier I was trying to like do something with those beams, but I ended up not doing that and just going for a beam across. On this side I tried to keep it a little simple. I wanted to change it up. I didn't want it to be identical, symmetrical on both sides. So on this side it's just kind of a door. Maybe some offices in there. Maybe you know, the president of this zoo. Do zoos have presidents? I know they have some sort of like guy, director. That's what I'm thinking of, a director. They don't have presidents, I don't think. I don't know, maybe. Who knows? But here I was just thinking maybe kind of like throw a sign or something for decoration. And then I was like, I decided to put like some detail on the wall with these darker colored shutters. And I use them more as like a different like texture of wood more than actual shutters. And I mean, it turned out alright, and here we are hopping into cinematics, so I will shut up now. And that's going to do it for today, guys. I want to thank you all very much for watching, and I will catch you guys on the next one. Goodbye.